Of course, where else are these chips going to go? Well, they're also going to go in all kinds of other humanoid robots.
Mm-hmm.
And we now have these nice little maps, humanoid robot maps for China's 4 major cities. And so here is the first one for Shenzhen. And I think we've talked about some of these robots before in the past over the last couple of years. We've seen UB Tech and Limix and Astrobot and so on, but there's more that's cropping up all the time.
Sure.
And we've got bots, with wheels. 4 of them here have wheels. The Chinese bots tend to look pretty, how should I say, military-like?
Muscular.
Muscular. Here we go with another set of 5 bots here. And again, you can see the similarities. Here's a Shanghai list. I think there's 3 of these that we've talked about over the last couple of years, Kepler, Fourier, and Agrobot. Kepler was the one that was kind of the Optimus copycat. So I don't know, where they are at today. And then here's some others, Beijing. And then this is kind of a list of the 4 areas plus even more. So China, make no mistake about it, is very, very serious about humanoid robots. Right? And the Chinese government has basically created a mandate that China become the world leader in this. They see this as an imperative for them.
Yeah, and I think people forget this all the time, especially people that are so interested in these large companies. You can do, $5 million a year in sales, even in inflated dollars, and have a very successful business that pays you a lot of money.
Yep.
I know. I had such a company. So it's like, and I've worked with companies that are smaller than that. I had a company, unfortunately, the owner just passed away, but he did almost $1 million in his pocket last year, and he was the only employee.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you don't have to have these massive companies in order to have a very generous income.
That's correct. Yep. And the other thing, too, that's worth thinking about here is clearly China is very serious about humanoid robots. And here's kind of a similar image here for the US. Okay. And again, we've talked about a lot of these over the years.
Sure.
And there's a few other relatively new ones cropping up here that we haven't really talked about too much. But other nations need to make sure that they're working on this as well. Right. And there's a few sort of European efforts. But, if I'm in other places, other parts of the world, if you don't get access to these humanoid bots sooner rather than later, you're going to find yourself at a competitive disadvantage to other nations that do.
100%.
Which should be an opportunity for the likes of Tesla and other companies that have a lot of manufacturing capability. Right. So let's say, for example, Apptronik builds the quote unquote best robot. Well, if they can't manufacture millions of them, it doesn't do them any good.
Right. Well, it does, again, it does them good. And this is, again, I want to make the point that I may not have made it fully, is that there's going to be niches. Our niches. You call it niches, I call it anyway. There's going to be there's going to be somebody that's going to make a nurse bot. There's going to be somebody that makes a bot that all it does is, pick up and drop off. And these won't have to be complex. They won't have to have as many actuators. They won't have to, so we already have examples that are $16,000 that are maybe profitable at 16,000. I don't know. We haven't seen their balance sheets, or their profit and loss statements, but they might be profitable at 16,000. Otherwise, why would you sell it for 16,000?
Well, it's a $16,000 toy, really, at this point. It's not doing any work.
Okay, but I'm just saying you have a very large TAM total, and even if it doesn't do much work, and you lose money at 16,000, but you'd make money at 20. Why wouldn't you sell it at 20? I mean, there's just
sure.
I don't think you'd sell 3 less.
If you could, and I think initially these bots will go actually for pretty high amounts of money, and growing as the capability increases.
Right.
At some point, though, let's say that Tesla, for example, doesn't go after the healthcare market, and we've got other bot makers that do. In the end, if Tesla has the best bot, it has the most capability, then it eats everything. Right? Maybe not initially, because that's not what they're going to focus on. But over time, it's going to be winner take most, assuming you can manufacture it at scale. That's going to be one of the key things.
Right.
Yep. For those that really want to squint at their TV screen, here's the global list, or a portion of it anyway.
The future is here. The singularity is coming. Grab your copy today, available now on Amazon in Kindle, print, or Audible. Unlock the future one page at a time. What will you build tomorrow?